together. And before I move back to Ukraine, I think you had a question on the United States, and then I'll move back to you on Ukraine, if that's all right.
Just very briefly, following on from the other questions about US policy, there seems to be a pattern of attack by the US government on British Muslims, in particular on the Mayor of London. I'm a very, very proud London MP, proud of our diversity, as you mentioned. What would you say and comment about those attacks on our mayor and the false information given about our fantastic capital city?
Yeah, I think Sadiq Khan is doing a brilliant job as London Mayor. You can see he's delivering for Londoners, and we see the strong support of, in many surveys, London being rated as the best capital city to live in anywhere in the world. So I think we see the rich economy, the strength of our communities across London, and I strongly support the work the Mayor is doing.
Well, we've got 3 London MPs on the panel here, and we agree with that. Richard.
Foreign Secretary, you spoke a moment ago about security guarantees for Ukraine. We've heard overnight some quite positive words said about US security guarantees, described variously as Article 5-like, very strong guarantees, platinum standard. Chancellor Merz said US security guarantees are remarkable. Please, could you describe how these security guarantees might operate and what the UK contribution might be to them?
So I'm going to just, I think, recognise that some of these discussions are still ongoing. We believe that significant progress has been made on security guarantees, but because those discussions are not yet concluded, I don't want to preempt the conclusion of those discussions. The whole point about having the security guarantees is obviously to ensure that Putin cannot just pause and come again, that it doesn't just become a pause for him simply to rearm, to strengthen his military resources and then launch further attacks, whether it be on Ukraine or on anybody else. And that's why the security guarantees are so important. There has to be some deterrence in this process against Russian aggression. So those are the issues that we are looking at. That's why we've all talked about a just and lasting peace. But I think, unfortunately, apologies to you and to the committee, it would be premature for me to talk about the detail of that at this stage.
It would go further than the mere reassurance force that has been discussed up to now.
I think, look, we have to all be able to have that confidence. Ukraine has to have the confidence that that any agreement doesn't simply mean that Putin then goes further again 12 months later or 6 months later. But those are also about guarantees for other countries concerned about security and stability across Europe as well. The only other thing I would then just reiterate, and the point that I made at the beginning, is that ultimately, we have huge amount of work underway between Ukraine and the US and supported by European countries. Frankly, I do not yet see commitment from Russia to sign up to peace, and they could do so at any point. They could sign up to a peace process, and actually that is where we need the pressure. That's one of the reasons why we're continuing with the pressure around sanctions on Russia, the economic pressure, and also pursuing the issues around Russian sovereign assets as well.
That's about safe.
I wasn't planning to. Right, okay. I'm curious then to know about the UK-EU cooperation around arms, and specifically the shortcomings around SAFE that we've seen in recent weeks. Might we see any further re-engagement between the UK and the European Commission on SAFE talks in the new year?
So Look, the timescale and the cost made this not value for money. We were always very clear we needed a value for money, but as you know, we continue with strong defence partnerships anyway. There's a whole series of different ways, including third country terms that we can be part of, all of those programmes, and we continue to have direct defence agreements and partnerships with a number of different countries. We've seen the new agreements obviously with Norway and other countries as well, but we're not currently proposing to reopen the discussions around SAFE.
Isn't it disgraceful that the Canadians can get access to SAFE on the basis of paying in £10 million and euros, and we have to pay £6 billion? I mean, what is going on? You know, we play a leading role in the defence of Europe, and why are we not allowed into SAFE?